Happy new moon and total solar eclipse in Sagittarius. This new moon in 23 degrees of Sagittarius became exact at 11:17 a.m. New York time, which is 16:17 Greenwich Mean Time on December 14th. This is approximately 4 minutes after the eclipse, which is visible only in South America, became exact. We are currently in an incredibly potent energetic time in this final lead up to the big astrological and energetic event of 2020, which is the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn on the solstice, and more on that later. Between the numerologically and energetically significant portal days of 1212 and 1221, we find ourselves with a grand opportunity to accelerate personal growth and step into our personal higher timelines. This is a South Node Solar Eclipse, meaning that it aligns with the South Node of the Moon in Sagittarius. A South Node Eclipse gives us the opportunity to address unresolved or unalchemized energies within that may stem from events and relationships from this and other lifetimes. The soul needs to transform these unalchemized energies in order for us to be able to move forward into our highest destiny here in the physical world. Essentially, South Node eclipses become portals for shadow work. The codes that we download around the South Node eclipses will serve to bring emotions and stuck energies to the surface to be cleared. In addition, we will become acutely aware of what is holding us back in life, like bad habits, low self-esteem, or lack of faith in the universe. We are also seeing this eclipse occur just before Chiron, the wounded healer, stations in Aries, amplifying this powerful gateway to heal these inner wounds. You may also find the universe simply moving a chess piece in your life to put you into a position where you will almost by default unravel and heal those unalchemized energies. Or perhaps you find yourself led to a helpful speaker, video, book, or healer during or after the eclipse, and that new positive influence allows you to heal something within that has been dogging you for years. Eclipses in general serve as powerful consciousness upgrades when we receive and integrate the new codes that we need in order to step into the next stage of our soul's journey here on Earth. The codes that we download during the eclipses serve to create our reality for the next 6 months. This is why it's a good idea to wait 48 hours after the eclipse passes and then write down intentions for the next 6 months of your life. Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign that brings an energy of play, passion, and spontaneity to the zodiac. Ruled by optimistic, auspicious Jupiter, the Archer serves as a reminder that a life without spontaneity, risks, or new experiences is a boring one. Sagittarius reminds us to go after what we really want in life unapologetically, and to not be afraid to take some risks on the way there. Sagittarius is one of the signs of the zodiac that emphasizes freedom. The Archer prefers to roam free and untied rather than nest in one place, like Cancer, for example. One of the things to focus on during and after this eclipse is how you can bring more freedom, passion, and exploration into your experience of life. Creating freedom in your own life. Each and every one of us are eternal creator beings playing in this third-dimensional game for fun, experience, and service. It is especially true for those of us that are starseeds that we absolutely knew what we were getting ourselves into when we decided to come to Earth. We knew that we would be entering into a dense third-dimensional world fraught with perils such as war, disease, toxins, and institutionalized socioeconomic inequalities. We also knew that the time would come when we would have the opportunity to play a pivotal, divinely guided role in helping to end the disease, strife, environmental toxicity, racism, and economic suppression of the masses that has become the norm in this modern day. For some of you, that role manifests directly via your chosen career or in volunteer or philanthropic pursuits. However, for the majority of lightworkers, our contribution manifests more indirectly through our energetic work. As above, so below, and as within, so without. So if we wish to see energetic and earnest freedom behold the human race, we must strive to experience and express that freedom within our own consciousnesses. As this eclipse happens on the south node of the moon, it offers a powerful opportunity to let go of all the aspects of the former versions of you that have been holding you back from being able to fully embody the new person that you are meant to become. Here are some questions of inquiry to consider, and feel free to journal on these, as you evaluate the role of freedom in your life. In what ways have I been feeling stifled or stuck in life? And take into account all areas of your life when you ask this question: relationships, career, finances, health, and your inner world. And of course, most of us are feeling stifled by the reality of the current COVID-afflicted world, but there's a good chance that if you're feeling stifled or stuck now due to COVID and everything it's causing, you may have also been feeling stuck and stifled in 2019. It just might have been due to a different cause in your mind. So it's something to think about. If you are feeling frustrated and stuck by this COVID-afflicted world, as most of us are, what was making you feel stuck in 2019 or 2018? And it may not be true for everyone, but for a lot of us, you might see a pattern of stuckness. And so it's a good question to ask was it the same areas of my life that felt stuck back then, and now there's just a new cause for the stuckness? And to really look into the nature of that stuckness. What is really there? And at the bottom of the stuckness could potentially be beliefs that don't serve you. And there, of course, there could be other things to it, especially if it's a health issue. But it's a good thing to look at what beliefs may be holding that stuckness in place. How could I allow for just a little bit more of a sense of freedom and spontaneity in my life while still keeping a healthy structure that allows me to grow long term? It's an interesting question, isn't it? How could you allow a little bit more spontaneity and freedom while keeping a healthy structure? Because to me, the healthy structure is what really creates the long-term success. If you look at anyone who's been successful long-term in an area of life, they usually did it through structure, through repetition of positive influences in their life every day. For example, an athlete who's gotten really good, every day they practice, every day they work out. For an author that's gotten really good and published a lot of books, they probably wrote a little bit every day. So thinking about keeping that structure, but adding in more of the Sagittarian energies of spontaneity, freedom, mixing things up. What parts of me feel old? Just like it feels like it's in my past. And it feels like these parts need to just go. Have I been playing an old character? When do I play an old character? What kinds of things trigger me into playing an old character? Is there anything stopping me from letting these aspects go and stepping into a new recreation of myself? And it's a good thing to evaluate what beliefs might be holding that old character in place when you know that the old character doesn't resonate anymore. Sometimes it's a fear of moving forward. Sometimes it's a fear of being seen by others as a new and more healed person. Sometimes you might be getting something that you feel you would lose if you gave up the old character. What gives me a feeling of fire and passion? How could I structure my life in a practical way to allow more time to pursue my passions? Feeling stuck? Don't forget to mix things up. One of the themes that everyone experiences at one point or another is stagnation. When your energy stagnates, you're likely to experience bouts of depression and anxiety. If you feel like you've been stagnating lately, or even if you haven't, it's best to utilize the energy of the Sagittarius season to bring some adventure safely and variety into your life. The universe will often keep us in a situation where we feel stuck and stifled, and we've been talking a lot about this, so that the frustration builds up so much that we finally take a leap of faith and make a big change in our lives. Undoubtedly, there will be choice points in your life where your higher self will nudge you to take a leap of faith, and in those instances, courage usually pays off. Sometimes we really just can't make a big change due to circumstances. COVID has encouraged us to stay home, as we've said, to protect ourselves and loved ones and to minimize the damage of this awful public health crisis. Many nations are experiencing very difficult economic crises as well, limiting many people's mobility. In times like these, you really may not be able to realistically or wisely change up the whole structure of your life. So what might be being asked of you, again, is to honor the structure of the situation you're in and find creative ways to add touches of freedom and spontaneity within that structure. Perhaps you can plan a game night with your family, go for a hike in a place you haven't been before, create an indoor garden, write a book, start a new workout routine, learn Tai Chi or yoga remotely, make art, learn an instrument remotely, make a new friend over the internet, change up the furniture in your house, clean up your house, design an app or a video game, or start a YouTube channel. It doesn't always take a huge change in your life to shake off that sense of stagnation. That is more often the exception, actually, rather than the rule. For most of us, the best way to integrate the Sagittarian energies is to add spontaneity in little ways. Here are some additional suggestions. Wear some clothing you haven't worn in a while, or thrift shop for clothing online. Take a different route on your walk, or even on your drive. Create something new in the kitchen. That's one of my favorite things to do. That usually shakes off the blues for me too, is just like creating a cool dinner for myself, adding in some interesting spices. Change up something about your look. Get a new pet, but make sure you're committed, of course. Life is meant to be an adventure, and although it's easy to forget that, it really is. From the perspective of the soul watching you from heaven, all of the trials and tribulations of your life, including the things that you've taken most seriously, are an adventure to the soul. Yes, life is painful at times, but the more we can remember that life is an adventure, the more we are going to enjoy the little things in life. And furthermore, when we view life as an adventure, we are then able to let go of holding on to needing any particular outcome to manifest, because we know that no matter what happens, the adventure will continue. When you're able to let go of needing any one particular outcome to manifest, you place yourself in perfect alignment to draw your dreams to you. Chiron stations direct in Aries. Chiron, the wounded healer, has been traveling retrograde in Aries since July. During this time, we have been faced with the prospect of confronting repressed feelings. We might feel the need to face uncomfortable emotions like anger and frustration, or to cry things out in the days following the eclipse as Chiron stations. However, as Chiron then moves forward in its direct motion, we feel like we are fully taking our power into our own hands. It's time to discard all thoughts and feelings of victimhood. Many of us carry pockets of energy of repressed anger within. The solution is never to express the anger outwardly, as that doesn't actually do anything to heal it. In fact, expressing anger outwardly just enhances the wound. The true healing solution is to feel the source of the anger deeply within and to bring acceptance and love to that wound. Ultimately, to truly release the wound, it may require forgiveness of self or another person. It can take time to move from a place of holding on to something to releasing it and forgiving everyone and everything involved, including yourself, but that is the path of alchemy and one of the things that Chiron teaches us. When things don't go your way, when life throws you unwanted surprises, or when it seems like you're stuck in a difficult situation endlessly, it can feel that like the whole universe is against you. The dark side of Chiron, which in mythology is the healer who couldn't heal himself, is feeling like a victim, staying stuck, holding on to things from the past, having low self-esteem, and not appreciating one's own abilities. The higher aspect of Chiron is becoming a creator instead of a victim. The self-actualized healer is able to open their heart as much to themselves as they are able to open their heart to heal others. Here are some good journal prompts or just questions of inquiry to consider. What is my deepest wound? What does that wound feel like? How would I describe it? Where do I feel it in my body? What color does it feel like? How does that deepest wound hold me back from my self-actualization? How might more love, acceptance, and forgiveness of myself, others, and the world transform this deepest wound? What might I be like if my deepest wound was healed? What might become easier or more graceful in my life? What am I easily able to give to others, but I find it difficult to give to myself? Do I hold back healing abilities from myself, even if they are effective when I work with others? What might be possible if I were able to let go of the identity of the wounded healer? An intuitive time. This 1212 to 1221 portal is a deeply intuitive time. Not only do we have this numerological and energetic portal, but we also have Neptune still exalted in its own sign of Pisces, as it is resuming its normal direct motion following its retrograde and station. Neptune governs intuition and all things mystical. Be open to signs and subtleties from your angels and guides during this time. Take time to meditate, and you may be able to just feel the answers you've been seeking lately. One of the most common questions that people ask me is, why can't I hear my spirit guides? The truth is, your spirit guides are always communicating with you, but it might not be in the most obvious way. In reality, if your guides talk to you directly in your head, you would likely doubt its validity. Additionally, direct communication could constitute intervening in a way that isn't allowed in your life plan in some circumstances. So the guides know they need to get to you in more subtle ways. They will leave little tokens or feathers for you. They will talk to you through other people. They will lead you to certain articles, websites, and YouTube videos. They will lead you to the right healers. They will give you signs through songs, numbers, license plates, signs, animal totems, and books that fall off the shelf. If you feel like you're not getting enough from your spirit guides, then ask them to communicate with you more directly. This request will direct your subconscious mind to look for signs and subtle communications rather than looking for reasons to believe that your guides have abandoned you. Faith has a big role in the energy of Sagittarius. It takes faith to have courage to make that tough decision and take a big leap forward in your life. It takes faith even to just mix things up a little bit to change the furniture around in your house. And it takes faith to believe that your spirit guides are with you and communicating with you, and that you haven't been left behind. It takes faith for us to believe as a human collective that the ascension will be completed successfully. Jupiter and Saturn conjunction upcoming. Jupiter and Saturn, along with Pluto, have spent most of 2020 in the fatherly, restrictive, practical Earth sign of Capricorn. The Saturn and Pluto conjunction on January 12, 2020 set the stage for a very difficult and restrictive experience of 2020 for most of the planet. COVID exploded into a pandemic soon after, and life was never the same. It thus should be a cause for at least reserved optimism as Jupiter and Saturn meet in this great conjunction at 0 degrees in the fixed air sign of Aquarius on the upcoming solstice. Jupiter and Saturn meet every approximately 20 years. However, this will be the closest that they have been to one another since 1226. They will appear so close together in the sky from our perspective that it will appear as one star in the sky, something that hasn't occurred since 1623. This astronomical illusion is dubbed the Christmas star or the Star of Bethlehem. This massively important astrological event will set the stage for the energy of 2021 and really for the remainder of the decade. The theme of 2021 will be the push-pull between the desires of the Earth's peoples for freedom and economic sovereignty with the governments of the world's desires to maintain control, orders, and the status quo. We will also be seeing a technological revolution directly in the public eye over the next few years, the likes of which we haven't seen since perhaps the days of Atlantis. I'll dive more in depth into this conjunction in my upcoming solstice transmission. Ascension symptoms heightened. We have been experiencing an intensity of cosmic energy streaming into our planet that we haven't had since perhaps the days of Lemuria and Atlantis. As this portal and solstice conjunction will welcome us one step further as a collective into the planetary age of Aquarius, we are being purified and upgraded at a rapid pace. Those of us who are energetically sensitive may be feeling heightened ascension symptoms of all kinds, including but not limited to thirst, heart palpitations, sleepiness or insomnia, anxiety or inner agitation, seeing brighter colors, seeing geometric shapes in the mind's eye, headaches, dizziness, ringing ears, feeling hot or cold, and brain fog. And of course, fatigue as well. Please know that if you've just begun experiencing these sorts of strange symptoms, you may just be waking up, and there are millions of others, if not more, who are also experiencing strange symptoms. Of course, if there's anything that really scares you, yes, get it checked out by a doctor, of course. But pay attention to solar flares, geomagnetic storms, and large fluctuations in the power factor of the Schumann resonance graphs, as these can be indications that we are receiving heightened energies flowing into our planet. Many people, including myself, have tended to experience heightened symptoms around these solar flares, geomagnetic storms, Schumann resonance power anomalies, as well as significant astrological events like this eclipse, supermoons, and significant conjunctions. If you're experiencing ascension symptoms, you're certainly not alone. The best advice I have is to drink lots of water, perhaps with a sprinkle of Himalayan salt for added minerals, ground outdoors if it's warm enough, take Epsom salt baths, or even better, go into the ocean if you're lucky enough to be in a warm place by the ocean right now. Massage your feet or have someone massage your feet for you. Use grounding essential oils, listen to Schumann resonance tones, eat grounding foods, and sleep a lot. And I have a great article on my website called 28 Ways to Ground, and I will link that in this description if you're watching on my channel. Wishing you a happy, healthy, and enlightening new moon and total solar eclipse in Sagittarius. With love, this is Matthew John. And if you're not familiar with who I am a spiritual teacher, intuitive healer, psychic starseed guide, medical intuitive, and international speaker. I've been on an awakening journey that's spanned over a dozen years, and I offer all sorts of free articles and free videos and other free resources on my website, which is youaredivinehuman.org, all spelled out, youaredivinehuman.org. And I also offer private sessions worldwide for people. It doesn't matter what country you're in. We can work together via Skype or WhatsApp. And I also offer these really cool packages for people. A lot of people like to work with me in these spiritual mentoring packages that I've been offering. They're very popular. There's 4 different tiers of the packages, and they're really designed to give you a transformational experience on all levels: spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. And I'd just like to briefly go over what you get in these packages. Package A is called Transformation and Healing. It's a 4-session package. You get 4 90-minute plus private sessions with me in total, including in the first session an extended soul plan reading. And in the soul plan reading, what I'm doing is connecting in with your spirit guides and your higher self, and also my helper guides as well. And we're looking at your life plan. We're interpreting past experiences in the context of your life plan. What were you meant to learn from those experiences? Why did they happen? We will interpret karmic relationships, and this could be loved ones, parents, siblings, old romantic relationships, current romantic relationships, and we'll interpret what the soul contracts were, what karma was being balanced, and what the alchemization of those relationships are meant to be. We will talk about past lives. We'll talk about your specific soul lessons. We'll talk about perhaps what type of indigo or starseed you are. If you'd like, we can talk about who your spirit guides are, and we can go into your future to see what your highest possible timeline is, what your most likely timeline is, what obstacles might come up, and any questions at all you might have. You need to make decisions in life. You just have any questions about anything at all, we'll likely be able to answer them for you. That's the first session. The second session, we do an angel energy healing session, and this is a 4-step process. It includes an inner child healing. It includes an unhealthy attachments purging ceremony, a soul retrieval, and then energy work from angels on your chakras, and also a comprehensive clearing of your auric field, and also a sealing of your auric field as well. And it's an hour and 40-minute minimum session that really is very transformational. People tend to describe feeling really light and clear, energized, happy afterwards, like a weight has been lifted off of them. It's a great, great session. The third session, we do the medical intuitive nutrition reading, and that is for your physical health. So what we're going to be doing is a body scan, which I'll be using my psychic vision to scan inside your body to see what's going on. And we'll talk about the metaphysical purpose or reason for any physical issues you might be experiencing. And we'll talk about actual concrete ways that you can get better, including supplements or homeopathic remedies, diet and nutrition, affirmations, exercises, visualizations, sound healing frequencies, and much more. And within a few weeks after the session, you'll also be getting in your email a 7 to 11 page intuitive nutrition report that is a comprehensive guide that you can keep with you to have as a resource in your healing journey from whatever physical issues you have. And even if you don't have any major or even minor physical issues, this session can still be really useful because we'll be able to, first of all, tell you, anything you need to pay attention to as far as your health in the future, but also we'll be able to tell you what the best diet is going to be to maximize your potential to live the most vibrant life, and also what supplements can help you to enhance your experience of life, whether it's to enhance your concentration or to enhance your feeling of peace or to enhance your sleep. And you also get a chakra scan with that as well. We will be scanning the health of your 7 main chakras, and you'll also get in your email within a few weeks after a chakra report, which will describe the health of each of your chakras, and it will give you affirmations and other suggestions on how to maximize the health of those chakras. In the fourth session, we do a Starseed discovery session. This is an astral journey to your home planet. So this is the best way to find out if you're a starseed, because not only will you find out, but you'll take a journey there, and it's amazing. A lot of people describe it as an unforgettable experience to be able to travel to their home planet, meet their galactic guides, and to bring back information about their journey and their mission here on Earth. You'll really get a deep sense of why you came from a faraway planet to Earth to experience this crazy ride of this 3D world. And if you're not sure if you're a starseed, most likely if you're listening to this, you are a starseed. Everyone that I've ever worked with as far as clients has been a starseed if they've asked about it, or if they've done this journey, the starseed journey. Everyone has been a starseed. So it tends to be the starseeds that are waking up first and are finding this sorts of material. So if you think you might be a starseed, you probably are, but we'll find out for sure when we do the Starseed Discovery session. And you also get unlimited support between calls with me via email, which is a great resource if anything comes up between calls. I'll give you some spiritual homework between calls, and if we have time and you're interested, we can also work on spiritual business development coaching or intuition and psychic development coaching as well. And I'll give you 3 bonus courses with that as well: Putting the Past in the Past, Mastering Your Intuition, and Spiritual Hygiene, Cord Cutting, and Grounding 101, and also my free ebook. That's all package A. Package B, you get all that plus a 2-hour past life regression session, and I have a really high level of success with these past life regression sessions. One of my favorite things to do, you'll go on an astral journey into your past lives, and we'll set the course for the most significant past lives that your higher self wants you to see in order for you to understand your current life better. And you'll also be getting to visit the space between lives, which is really cool, and you get to interpret what is the meaning of those lives as in relation to your current life, and you'll also get to see what characters from your current life may have been in other bodies in those other lifetimes that you see. It's an awesome experience. That's package B. Package C, you get all that. So everything package A plus the past life regression plus a future life progression session. This is an astral journey into your future on your highest possible timeline. You get to travel into your future to specific points like a year out, 5 years, 10 years, etc. And you'll also get to meet with your future self and to get some advice from your future self. Very helpful. Very helpful. And with the package C, you also get an additional 10 courses, okay? And the courses are all listed on the page where you can find these packages. Okay, just go over to my website, yourdivinehuman.org. Scroll your mouse over private sessions, and it's the first tab, spiritual mentoring packages. So there's over 30 hours of course content that you can do on your own time between sessions if you do get the package C. And then you also get the 6 private sessions with me, the unlimited support between calls, spiritual homework between calls, intuition, psychic coaching, business coaching if you need. You get all that. Basically, you can use me as a resource as much as you need to for the time we are working together. And there's also package D, which includes optimization coaching packages. These are for people who are looking for more of a long-term commitment with a coach, and I can keep you on track with a certain nutrition protocol. I can be there for some additional energy healing if you need. I can be there for whatever comes up in your life. All right? So, again, scroll over the private sessions tab, click on spiritual mentoring packages. You can read over the descriptions. There's 1 and 2 payment options. And I also do offer a 25% discount to Australians and 20% discount to Canadians because of the exchange rates. And also, I do offer all that, everything that I mentioned, all the different types of sessions, I do also offer them a la carte individually. So if a package won't work for you and you want to just do one session with me, you can see on my website all the different options for just individual a la carte sessions, and you can book yourself on my website. And right now I'm booking packages and individual sessions for the second half of January and February. So if you want to get started with me soon, now is a pretty good time. Again, I'm booking about a month out, so you can get in with me relatively soon. And if you have any questions about the packages, about the different options for sessions, about the new moon eclipse, you have any questions about 1221, the conjunction solstice that I haven't answered, if you have any questions about anything at all that you think I might know about, if you have a quick personal question that I can answer you think without a reading, I'm happy to answer it. If it's something that will require full reading, I'll just tell you, hey, I'd love to answer this for you, but it would require full reading, and then you can book one if you'd like. So if you have any questions, go to my website, bottom right corner of the screen. You'll see my face. It says, Matthew John, have questions, ask Matthew. Type in your question, type in your correct email address. I will get back to you within 24 hours. And there's also, if you can't find that for whatever reason, you can scroll your mouse over the More button and click on Contact Me, and you can there type in your name and your email. Okay, everyone, I'm looking forward to speaking to you for the solstice. I'm going to do a special audio transmission for the upcoming solstice in conjunction, and then after that I'll do another one for the upcoming full moon, which will be at the end of the year, and that will come after eclipse season has already passed. So I'm looking forward to speaking with you on those. Feel free to leave a comment below. Also, please like, subscribe, and share this video if you enjoyed the content. I really, really appreciate that. And remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be kind to animals, and be kind to the earth. Wishing you an incredible, transformative, peaceful, happy new moon and total solar eclipse. From my heart to yours, this is Matthew John.